Hello fellow duels, this is Shadow of the Moon, and today I'm going to be showing you an updated deck profile of my Blackwing deck for April of 2023. So this obviously is going to be more of like April/May because we still haven't gotten the Bestial Synchro Monster that's coming out in Duelist Nexus next month. And June looks like will be the date that we're going to be getting into the Blackwing, the level 2 tuner monster, the one that can be special summoned from the hand. I think it's called Palaxi or whatever, Panani or whatever it's called. But I'm really excited about that because it's going to propel Blackwings to a whole new level and make it so much more competitive. And I did do some changes with this deck. I'm actually going to be showing you my side deck that I have now. I'm waiting on 2 more evenly matched, but I do have 1 in here already that I did add in here, and I will be showing that off too. So without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get straight on into it. But before we do, I just wanted to say thank you to all my subscribers and thank every last one of you for always watching my videos and everything. You guys rock. Without you, I wouldn't be doing any of these videos, test hands, these unboxings and everything. So I'm going to be doing also more of a progression series again. I have decided to pick up the progression series and going forward from there, doing the entire GX series in a progression series, and I'm going to be showcasing a new deck that I'm going to be doing with that. So it's going to start off in the GOAT format, but that deck will slowly begin to evolve, and I will be doing it just like I did with the Harpy deck during the Duel Monsters era. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on into the deck profile. So obviously first you're going to have 3 copies of Moon the Poison Wind. Also, I do want to give a big thank you to Silent Blackwing and Cannot Gaming. I do try my best to make sure that my decks are original. Silent Blackwing is an amazing Blackwing player in terms of he has so many good ideas. So if you do see anything in this video that like, oh, this deck kind of very closely resembles this or Cannot's video, I'm not doing it on purpose. Literally, it's just how it happened because I've been playtesting it in Yu-Gi-Oh! Waigo Pro. It works very, very well, so I kind of stick with what's going to be able to work in the deck. So I do apologize, but I am going to have some changes that are going to be different, and you will obviously see that. So first off, Simoon is great because Simoon, you're going to show a Blackwing card, you're going to banish it, and then, or you're going to show Simoon, you're going to banish a Blackwing card, and then you're going to be able to play Black Whirlwind directly from your deck, and then from there activate its effect to normal summon it, which will go onto your play. So this is one of the most important cards in this deck, in my opinion. And then you've got 3 copies of Shamal the Sandstorm. Shamal is great. Shamal also, you discard this card from your hand to play Black Feather Whirlwind, just like you would play Black Whirlwind and stuff. And then also has a secondary effect that if you special summon a Blackwing monster or a Blackwing Dragon, or a Synchro monster or a Blackwing Dragon, you can banish this card to add a Blackwing card back from your graveyard back to your hand, which really helps in graveyard recycling and just works really, really well with this deck. And then obviously Sudri, the MVP of the deck. Sudri is a double searcher because you can make this with Black Whirlwind. You can search for 2 cards instead of 1. If you have 2 Black Whirlwinds, you can search for 3 cards. And mainly, you can search a card that references Blackwing Dragon and add it to your hand. So that's Shamal, that's Vata, that's Twin Shadow, that's any of those cards that reference Blackwing Dragon. And this card also has a secondary effect that you contribute a Blackwing monster to make a level 2 tuner, basically, for the turn, and so that really helps you with synchro climbing if you need to. And then 3 copies of Vata. We got Vata. Obviously, Vata is great because Vata, you special summon it from your hand if you control face a Blackwing monster, and then you contribute this, and also send cards to your graveyard equal to the monster's level to be able to special summon Blackwing Dragon. So you send this, you tribute this, you send Zephyros, you send Hamart in the Dust to the graveyard, and that will make you Blackwing Dragon to be able to go onto your plays. And then for the other Blackwings, 1 copy of Zephyros the Elite. I would love to play 2, but 1 works a lot better in this format right now anyways because it can be a hand clogger, but if you do feel comfortable playing 2, by all means, go for it if you don't want to play the other route that I have. And then we have Gale. Gale the Whirlwind is great because it's just a 1-of, and it has the effect just like Bora, where it is not once per turn, it's not soft once per turn, it's literally just if it goes back to the hand by some chance, or if you draw it or whatever, you can play it again. So if it gets distributed, or if it gets sent to the graveyard, you can play Shamal's effect to be able to add it back to your hand, and then special summon it if you control a Blackwing monster. And then we have Steam the Cloak. Steam the Cloak, I'm still looking. I did buy a Steam the Cloak token. I'm really looking forward to getting that, but this is the token that I used so far in the game. But Steam is, you're going to use this for the Boreas combo, which you send Steam to the graveyard. You're going to make Boreas level 3, and then from level 3 and 4 to make Obsidian Tamer Hawk Joe, and then you're going to go from there, and that's going to go how you get into Kali Yuga. And then we have 2 Gust the Backblast. Yes, I did decide to play this in the deck now. Gust is very helpful, especially in this format, because you do have a way to make Gin Buster. I do have Gin Buster in this deck, and I did play test with it, and it works fantastically. It makes it to where I don't have to go through all my steps for them to play Nibiru or whatever, because they did try playing Nibiru, and then I just negated it, and from there they just proceeded to Rage Quit. But this is great because if you control no cards whatsoever, you can special summon this from your hand. So even if by some chance Simoon gets negated, or if you want to go route, you can go this first, and you can do this, and that way they will never negate this. They will never get rid of this because they don't see a point. It's a special summon, and that's all it does. They're going to see it as like, oh, you just have that. So if by some chance something else gets negated, you can still have this on the field and keep going into your plays. 1 Heart in the Dust can modify its level by selecting a face of Blackwing monster, so this is a great way, and it's a special summon. If you control Blackwing, you can special summon that from your hand. And then you have the last Blackwing, which is Chinook. Chinook basically acts as a mini effect failure, acts as a hand trap. You can send this card and a Blackwing synchro monster from your extra deck to the graveyard and be able to negate the monster's effect, and they lose 700 attack points, which is really good. So now we're going to be going on to the other cards. So we've got Raider's Wing. This goes in for the Kali-Yuga combo. And then for my searcher for Small Bridge, I have Noctovision Dragon, because one thing, I did do research. I know Canuck Gaming was talking about Noctovision Dragon, and I did try not using it. I used Radion for the very longest time because it worked. But Radion, the problem is you cannot search for Ash, and you cannot search for Effect Veiler. The reason I am running Noctovision Dragon over Presidents over any of the other ones, and I'm going to show I've got 3 copies of Ash and 3 Effect Veiler, is because for one reason. If you're playing Small World, you can send a card from your, you can activate the effect, send a random card from your hand to banish it face down. It's a Noctovision Dragon, and not only does Noctovision Dragon get you any Blackwing, but it also gets you this because you're going based off of its attack. Its attack is 0, and its attack is 0. So you will always get either Ash or Effect Filler, and I don't understand why people are not playing this. Cypher Gamma, yeah, is a great card. It is probably one of the best hand traps in this format, and a great hand trap for Blackwing decks, which is why I played it for the longest time. But the fact that you can get 0 attack and 0 attack from Ash and 0 attack from Effect Filler is just insane and great, because you can use that for consistency if you need an Ash or you need an Effect Filler, or if you need a random Blackwing, and it is one of the easiest targets for going into the Small World combo. Alright, so now we're going to be moving on to the spells and traps. So obviously, we got 3 Black Whirlwinds. Black Whirlwinds, you're going to need all 3 of these. These work very great. This is how you go into your combo plays. And then I've got 2 copies of Black Feather Whirlwind. Black Feather Whirlwind acts the same way as allows you to special summon a Blackwing monster from the graveyard when you synchro summon a Blackwing Dragon or a Blackwing Synchro monster, and also has a secondary effect that you can actually remove counters and stuff to prevent from a Blackwing monster from being destroyed, which doesn't come up too often, but it does happen. And then obviously 3 Small World. This is what I was talking about. You can use the Small World to pitch a card from your hand face down to pitch Noctovision Dragon, and then that allows you to get any card that you pretty much want from your deck. So that's why I play it, and it works really, really well with this deck. If you want to play Psyframe, you can play Psyframe. If you want to play another hand trap like Infinite Imperm or something, you can do that, but I'm using that because it works very well for me. Still looking for Pot of Prosperity, so if you do know, I do have a trade binder video, so if you do have a Pot of Prosperity, please, comment and say that you have one to trade. If you see anything like, say that you're willing to trade for it, I am looking for it. But in the meantime, Allure of Darkness is like the poor man's Pot of Prosperity for Blackwing players. I still get to draw 2 cards, but I just banish Dark Monster, which isn't too bad. And then obviously this is going to be for your Kali-Yuga combo. This goes, you activate this on your Arsenal Falcon. And then for the traps, I still play Twin Shadow because Twin Shadow is still one of the best traps for this deck, because if you wait till near the end of your turn, you can play this, and it's a free Blackwing full Armor Master, and it just works too well. Alright, so now we're going to be moving on to the extra deck. So extra deck wise, I'm going to be playing 2 Blackwing Assault Dragons. It can be somewhat difficult to get 2 of these out, but if you can get these 2 out in a full Armor Master, that's pretty much a lot of times all you need. But you've got these 2 for this, for burn damage, and you've got this to be able to bring out first using Vata and everything. So yeah, that's the reason I use that in the deck. And then obviously we've got 1 copy of Former Master. This card is indestructible. Basically, it's unaffected by card effects. It cannot be targeted, it cannot be used or anything. So they were going to have a hard time getting over this, and it's so easy to bring this out. Also has that counter effect that if they activate an effect, you can place a wedge counter on it, and then when this card has on the field, you can actually take control of monsters that are wedge counters, and then at the end phase of the turn, destroy them. And then we've got Obsidian Tamrock Joe and my Blackwing Armor Master for the rank level 7 plays to go into Arsenal Falcon. You can also use a Noctovision Dragon if you want, because that is a level 7, but I will never get rid of this. You can replace this or try Carry the Rain Shower if you want to do that, but obviously this is personal preference. I'm always going to have this guy in the deck, and probably always have this guy in the deck too, so that's why I've got him in there. And then you've got Northam the Starlight and Boreas the Wicked Wind. This is an MVP. This is a fantastic card because this allows you to normal summon an additional turn, so you can go and do a bigger play with Sudri. By normal summoning Sudri again, Boreas allows you to send Steam to the graveyard, and it is a tuner monster, one of the only Blackwing tuner monsters. And then for this Borreload Savage Dragon, obviously you still got Borreload Savage Dragon, fantastic card in my opinion. This is an Omni Negate, works very well. And a lot of times, all you're going to need in a turn, even if they hand trap and they negate a lot of what you play, in the end, you can still at least always get Arsenal Falcon ready with Kali Yuga and then Borreload Savage Dragon, and that's pretty much all you'll need. Alright, so for then the Link monsters, we're going to be playing, not Link monsters, Exceed monsters, we're going to be playing Kali Yuga, Arsenal Falcon, and then the new, like I said, Jin Buster. Jin Buster is fantastic in this format. This is very easy to somewhat bring out. It's actually not too difficult. You're going to be using this to kind of negate Nibiru, negate hand traps, because you can get this out on your 4th turn, and this is like your 4th or 5th summon or whatever, and then they will instantly try to Nibiru and negate it. Kind of like how the old Blackwing deck played when you had a lot of level 4s, and you were like turboing out level 4s to go into like 4 Strix and everything. Or Y Strix, or 4 Strix, yeah, 4 Strix, and it pretty much was the exact same thing. And then Kali Yuga obviously is like, game winning. That's like, oh, as soon as you get that, they can't activate anything. And then for the Link monsters, we have Darkness Metal, not used too often anymore, because by then, they've already wasted everything that they had by the time you get to this guy anyway, so I'm kind of debating on whether or not to take him out at this point, but I do still have them in there. And then also you have the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche, and you have the Radioactive Y Strix to be able to go into your play. Obviously, I still have my Field Center. Really, I love this card. This is such a cool Field Center because it's Gale original Field Center. But all right, so now we're going to be moving on to the extra deck. So obviously, Nibiru is a big thing in this format. I told you, Nibiru, you're going to need Nibiru. This is going to kind of get rid of your opponent's stuff. You got 3 Artifact Lancias. This is a great hand trap for Tear Elements, especially. This is a personal preference. Dark Roller no more shuts off monster effects, so this really hurts Kashtira because they can't activate any of those effects, and they lose all their effects until the end phase of the turn. I don't mind the whole battle damage thing because it works way too well not to have it. And then, like I said, I do have 2 evenly matched coming, so I do have them coming, so I'm gonna replace these 2 blank cards with evenly matched, but that's what they're supposed to be. This is a great card, and I've lost so many games to this damn card on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro so much because they will play it, and I forget a timing or something, and when they play it, and they just wait till main phase 2 after battle phase, and it just sucks because then just everything gets wiped. And then lastly, you've got 3 Goes in Match. 3 Goes in Match, obviously, since you're playing nothing but dark types in this deck, this works really, really well with the deck, and it kind of cripples decks that have different things like Kashtira and everything, and cripples any decks that have multiple attributes. Alright, so that's going to be it for this deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a blast to be able to do. I love doing these deck profiles on my Blackwing deck. I love being able to showcase them off. And it's just a lot of fun because I am a very big Blackwing player, obviously, as you can tell. And it's just something that I've always enjoyed doing. And it's just, Blackwings have always been a big part of me playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love that you can continuously update this deck. And it gets better and better. It seems like every single format, we're able to come up and we're able to stay on top, which is something a lot of decks can't do. A lot of decks, nowadays, unless you evolve, for the most part, you can't really do anything, and a lot of them get broken at the wayside, and, there's nothing else you can do. But with Blackwings, it just seems like they are able to keep going and going and going, and it's just great to be able to play with Blackwings and just see how good they are. And I love that we do focus still heavily on synchros, which is something that I wanted to keep doing because I do have a synchro only Blackwing deck, and I love it to pieces because it's a full synchro Blackwing deck and can bring out King Calamity. But alright, so that's gonna be it for this deck profile. Thank you so much for watching it. With that, I'll see you guys next time. Later.